Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, wait, when did that happen? Not because you woke up with one new wrinkle, but because your whole face suddenly looked more tired, a little flatter, a little drier, a little less like you. And that feeling can be unsettling, especially when it seems to happen all at once. But here's the part almost nobody says clearly. For most women, aging after 60 does not hit like lightning. It leaks in quietly, first through recovery, then through sleep, then through muscle tone, hydration, stress, appetite, sunlight, medications, and yes, sometimes through nutrient gaps your body has been compensating for longer than you realized. So this video is not about chasing 25 again. It's about understanding why your face can seem to age faster in one season of life and the 3 nutritional blind spots that can make that shift look even sharper, because sometimes the mirror is not showing vanity, sometimes it's showing maintenance problems. And before we go further, one quick reality check: there is no food, pill, or powder that makes a face look years younger in 12 hours. If someone promises that, they're selling hope faster than biology works. What we can do is understand what supports skin, hair, nails, and overall vitality in a way that is realistic, useful, and actually worth your time. The first thing to understand is that suddenly older is usually delayed visibility. Your skin gets thinner with age. It loses some fat. It doesn't bounce back the same way. Years of sun exposure, lower oil production, stress, smoking history, dry indoor air, and simple dehydration all add up. So what feels sudden is often the moment the hidden math becomes visible. That's when the face looks less plump, the skin feels papery, bruises linger longer, and fatigue starts showing up before you even say a word. And this is where I think people get misled. They start treating the face like a cosmetic emergency, when often it's the visible end of a bigger story. Your skin is not a separate project. It is a living surface that reflects what is happening in the rest of you. If recovery is slower, the skin shows it. If inflammation is higher, the skin shows it. If protein intake has dipped, if sleep is lighter, if you're indoors more, if your appetite changed, if your digestion isn't what it used to be, the skin shows it. So instead of asking, why do I suddenly look old? A better question is, what systems got quieter? That's the frame for the rest of this video, not miracle beauty tips, not fake urgency, just 3 common nutrition-related gaps that can make aging look more dramatic than it needs to. Let's start with the one I think gets reduced to orange juice and immune support way too often: vitamin C. Vitamin C matters because your body uses it to make collagen, and collagen is not just a beauty word from a supplement label. It's structural, it's repair, it's part of why skin feels more resilient, why wounds heal, why tissue has support instead of that crepey, depleted look people often describe after 60. Here's the trap: a lot of women eat less over time, simplify meals, or gravitate towards safe foods that don't always bring much vitamin C with them. Toast, coffee, crackers, a small sandwich, maybe a light dinner, nothing dramatic, nothing obviously wrong, but not always enough color, enough produce, or enough consistency to support repair. And the result may not announce itself as a vitamin problem. It can show up more subtly: duller skin, slower healing, skin that doesn't seem to recover from stress as well, a general loss of freshness that expensive creams can't quite touch. Because creams sit on the story, vitamin C participates under the story. So if I were writing this as a creator, not a salesperson, this is the message. When your skin starts looking less alive, don't only ask what to put on it. Ask what your body has to work with. The food side here is refreshingly unglamorous. Citrus, kiwi, strawberries, peppers, broccoli, tomatoes, potatoes. Real food regularly. Not as decoration, but as building material. And yes, some people use supplements. That can be reasonable, but the smarter message is not take mega doses. The smarter message is consistency beats drama. Your body does not store huge amounts of vitamin C, so regular intake matters more than occasional bursts of health enthusiasm. The second blind spot is vitamin D, and this one matters because aging changes the equation. A lot of people still think vitamin D is simple. Just go outside. But older skin is less efficient at making vitamin D from sunlight than younger skin. That matters because by the time many women are in their 60s and beyond, they may be spending less time outdoors, covering up more, using more sun protection, which is great for preventing skin damage, and still not maintaining vitamin D levels as easily as they once did. Now, I want to be careful here. Vitamin D is not a magic anti-wrinkle molecule. Anyone selling it that way is oversimplifying, but it does matter for systems that influence how you age and how you carry age. Bones, muscle function, immune support, and overall resilience. And when energy drops, posture softens, movement declines, and everything feels a little more fragile, that absolutely changes the way a person looks. That's why I think vitamin D is often misread in beauty conversations. It may not be the star of a glamorous before and after ad, but it supports the infrastructure. And infrastructure is what keeps I Look Tired from slowly turning into I don't recognize myself. Food can help. Fatty fish, fortified dairy, or plant milks, egg yolks, mushrooms, but for some people, food alone won't close the gap, which is exactly why this is one of those nutrients that deserves real testing, not guessing, because more is not always better. Low vitamin D is a problem, but high doses without supervision can be a problem too. The grown-up answer is not fear, it's data. Now let's talk about the most over-marketed one in the beauty world, biotin. Biotin has become one of those supplements that people throw at every hair and nail problem like confetti. Thinning hair, biotin. Peeling nails, biotin. You don't like your eyebrows? Biotin. But here's the honest version. Biotin matters. Yes, your body uses it in energy metabolism, and deficiency can affect hair, skin, and nails. But this is not one of those nutrients where more automatically equals better. And the internet does not always tell that truth. What makes biotin interesting in this conversation is not that every woman over 60 needs a giant biotin supplement. It's that changes in hair texture, shedding, brittle nails, or skin irritation can sometimes be the body waving a flag that something is off, whether that's nutrition, illness, medication effects, stress, or an actual deficiency. So I would frame biotin less like a miracle and more like a clue. If hair is thinning, nails split constantly, and the surface of health looks less sturdy, pay attention. Eat the foods first if you can. Eggs, fish, meat, seeds, nuts, sweet potatoes, spinach, broccoli. Then ask the better question. Is this truly a biotin issue, or is biotin getting blamed for a broader pattern? And one more thing that almost never gets enough attention in these videos, high-dose biotin can interfere with certain lab tests, including some hormone and thyroid tests. That means a supplement someone takes for beauty can create confusion in medical care. That is not trivial. That is exactly why natural does not automatically mean casual. Now here's the part I wish more videos started with instead of ending with. If you want to look more vital after 60, think in layers, not hacks. First layer, hydration. Not because water is magical, but because dry bodies look dry. Skin, energy, digestion, even how tired your face looks by late afternoon. Hydration touches all of it. Second layer, protein. This one is massively under-discussed. If your body is trying to maintain muscle, repair tissue, support hair, and keep you strong, but you're barely eating enough protein, the outside will eventually reflect that shortage. Third layer, color on the plate. Not for aesthetics, for function. Berries, peppers, greens, citrus, tomatoes, sweet potatoes. These are not side characters. They are repair support. Fourth layer, sleep. People will spend money on serums they would never spend on improving sleep, even though poor sleep can make the face look older faster than half the beauty aisle. Fifth layer, sunlight with common sense. Enough to support normal rhythms and time outdoors, not so much that you trade short-term glow for long-term damage. And sixth, Stop guessing if something feels off. If fatigue is new, hair loss is accelerating, skin is changing fast, bruising seems different, or you're thinking about adding multiple supplements, get the labs. Real health gets clearer when the guesswork ends. Your mirror is not criticizing you, it's informing you. So if your face has changed after 60 and it feels abrupt and it feels like it happened overnight and you catch yourself in a certain light and don't quite recognize what you see, don't assume it's vanity, don't apologize for noticing, and absolutely do not let anyone sell you shame about it. Because here's the thing almost nobody says out loud. Noticing a change in your face is not the same as chasing youth. It is not weakness. It is not superficiality. It is data. And if you've spent any part of your life paying attention to your body, learning to read its signals, trusting its communications, then this is just another signal. A different language maybe, but the same conversation. Sometimes what you're seeing in that mirror is age, yes. Time doing what time does, gravity, cumulative sun, the slow architecture of a life lived. But sometimes, and this is the part that matters, what you're seeing is depletion. Not age, depletion. And those are not the same thing at all. Depletion from chronic stress that never fully resolved. From years of broken sleep you told yourself didn't matter. From the low-grade inflammation that hums in the background of too many modern lives and quietly accelerates every process you'd rather slow down. From a nutrient gap that was inconsequential at 42 and is now at 65 or 67 or 71, showing up in the places you least expected, your skin losing its density, your hair changing texture, the hollowness around your eyes that wasn't there 5 years ago. Collagen doesn't just decline with time. It declines with poor protein intake, with insufficient vitamin C, with excess sugar, with stress hormones that remain chronically elevated, with a gut that's been quietly underperforming for years and therefore absorbing less of what you're consuming than you think. Bone structure doesn't just shift with age, it shifts with estrogen loss, with calcium and magnesium and vitamin K2 deficiencies that most women are never told to track. With a sedentary period or a prolonged illness or a season of life where everything external demanded your full attention and there was simply nothing left over for yourself. None of that is inevitable. None of that is irreversible. And that is what I find genuinely hopeful. Because I am aging is a true sentence. I will not argue with biology or pretend otherwise. Time moves, bodies change. That is not a problem to solve. It is a reality to honor. The goal was never to look 35 at 65. That is not a worthy goal. It is a distraction from a far more interesting one. The real goal, the one worth pursuing, is looking like yourself. Fully yourself, nourished and rested and present in your face in the way that tells the world you are not depleted, that you have not quietly disappeared into the demands of everyone else, that you are still stubbornly here. And sometimes reclaiming that is not about intervention at all. It is about finally doing the basics your body has been asking for, clearly and consistently. And that kept getting postponed. More protein than you think you need. Most women over 60 are significantly under-eating protein, and the consequences land squarely on muscle mass, skin integrity, immune function, and recovery, not as a crisis. As a slow dimming, more sunlight in the morning and less artificial light at night, because your circadian rhythm governs more cellular repair processes than you were ever told. More sleep. Not just more hours, but better architecture of sleep, because that is when growth hormone does most of its tissue work. More water, because chronic mild dehydration in older adults is extraordinarily common and shows up quite literally in your face. Test instead of guess. There are women walking around functionally deficient in iron, vitamin D, B12, zinc, and omega-3s who have been told by their basic blood work that everything is normal. Normal is not optimal. The reference ranges on most standard labs are not calibrated for vitality. They are calibrated to distinguish the sick from the not yet diagnosed. You deserve more precision than that. Stop chasing overnight miracles, the creams, the devices, the dramatic claims, and start asking a different question. What has my body been missing? Because the body is not mysterious. It is logical. It is responsive. It tells you what it needs if you know how to listen. And it rewards genuine nourishment in ways that accumulate over months in a manner no product can replicate. This is not about optimization culture. This is not about biohacking or performing wellness or building a perfect routine. This is simply about refusing to accept depletion as destiny, about understanding that the conversation you're having with your reflection is not an accusation, it's an inquiry, and you are allowed to respond with information rather than despair. If I were standing in front of an audience delivering this is precisely where I would want to leave them. Not with panic, not with a shopping list, not with the quiet devastation of believing it's too late, but with a better lens. Your mirror is not always criticizing you. It is sometimes simply doing what a mirror does, reflecting back what is present. And what is present can change. What is present is not a verdict, it is a starting point, because the woman who looks more like herself again is not the woman who found the right serum. She is the woman who stopped treating her body like a problem and started treating it like a partner, who took her own health seriously enough to ask real questions and pursue real answers, who understood that taking back your vitality after 60 is not vanity. It is, in fact, one of the most powerful things you can do, not looking younger, not winning some competition against time, just showing up in your face, in your eyes, in your presence as someone who chose not to disappear. That is the shift. That is what becomes possible. And it starts with learning to read what you're being shown.